Hello and welcome to Plus TV Africa. I'm Lakwe Banjo with the news on the hour. An appeal by Shell and 4 of its former managers to stop a corruption trial over the award of Nigeria's operating license in 1998 by former Minister of Petroleum Dan Etete has been thrown out by Italy's Supreme Court. The operating license was later sold to Eni and Shell for about $1.3 billion. The Nigerian government had reportedly acted as an intermediary between the oil majors and Malibu Oil and Gas, which is allegedly controlled by Etete. The trial, initially set to begin March the 5th in a Milan court, was shifted to May the 14th and later transferred to another chamber. A subsequent hearing is being scheduled for the June 20th, and the Milan court says it will assess requests from third parties, including a succession of international non-profit organizations, to join the case. The appeal at the instance of Shell and 4 of its former managers, citing procedural errors, was targeted at reversing the trial to the hearing stage. Director of Strategic Communications, Buhari campaign organizations Festus Keyamo, says President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election bid for 2019 will instill a different political culture in the country. Keyamo, who said that the PDP culture of politics being about money only must change. He bragged that Buhari did not need federal funds to clinch his re-election bid, as his supporters would be happy to sell their possessions to fund it. He also dismissed data from the National Bureau of Statistics indicating that the country is witnessing growing poverty and a weak economy. While describing insinuations that the president was sponsoring herdsmen as satanic and idiotic, he said Buhari also needed to consolidate on his anti-corruption war and deal a final blow on insecurity. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo has arrived in Benin, the Edo state capital, for a 2-day official visit. Oshibajo, who was received at the airport by Governor Godwin Obaseki, top government officials and leaders of the All Progressive Congress, will be inaugurating some projects in the state, including the Benin Technical Innovation Hub that is expected to host over 25 ICT companies geared towards training young and old people on various ICT-based skills. He would also attend a town hall meeting with beneficiaries of the Social Investment Program of the federal government. He will also perform the foundation-laying ceremony for the construction of 1,800 housing units, which is a joint venture project on the government of Edo and a private sector organization. The Code of Conduct Tribunal says Justice Danladi Yakubu Umar remains its chairman in the prosecution of public officers who violate assets declaration laws. This has been mandated by the federal government and the country's constitution. The tribunal's head of press and public relations, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, also said that the chairman, who was in the office today, has even fixed June 20 and June the 21st, 2018 for the trial of public officers from Bauchi and Kwara states who violated various provisions of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. Al-Hassan urged the general public to disregard any insinuations concerning the status of Justice Umar in the tribunal, adding that contrary to social media reports, the position of chairman and members of the CCT are guaranteed by the Constitution. Today, June 14, is World Blood Donor Day, and in this report, our correspondent Felicity Ezewioke takes a look at the benefits of regular blood donations and the need for all to be involved.
According to the World Health Organization, blood transfusion and blood-related products help save millions of lives every year. This reminder is necessary as we mark World Blood Donor Day. Marked on June 14 every year, the day serves to appreciate those who willingly give the life-saving gift of blood, to enhance awareness on the need for quality blood products for those in need of blood transfusion.
In Nigeria, available statistics indicate that someone needs blood every 2 seconds. It is estimated that about 1.5 million units of blood are required per annum in Nigeria, but sadly, far less is sourced. Investigations by Plus TV Africa confirm a lukewarm response among Nigerians, as shown in some of the reactions by our respondents.
So what we are not talking about now is how healthy are those people that want to donate the blood. Myself, I will find it difficult to donate. Myself, if you check myself now, I don't think I even have blood to donate. You understand me? But I thank whoever that is donating blood.
I'm scared of it. That injection, I'm scared of the injection, so I can't allow them to just collect my blood like that.
Probably because they have not been sensitized about it. They have not had adequate information as regards that. So what they need to do is to reach out to people and see the need for them doing that.
Me personally, I don't think I can. I'm afraid. When you have enough before you can donate now.
We talked to an international cardiologist and medical director of Uracare Multi-Specialist Hospital on this worrying development.
Well, the first thing to say is it's very good that there's recognition of World Blood Donation Day today, and I think it gives us an opportunity to remind the general public of the importance of blood donation. That blood does not just come from anywhere. It's not manufactured in a factory. It has to be donated by people. Now, obviously, there are several concerns regarding the receipt of blood products in general, and these obviously have to do with infectious disease transmission, notably hepatitis and HIV, and in some cases some diseases that we may not even be aware of today. Well, that is something that has to be very strongly frowned upon. There are, in Lagos, we certainly have a number of regulatory bodies which would be in a position to do something about legitimate hospitals engaging in such practices. I would certainly urge any healthcare facilities to ensure that any blood that they use within their facilities can only come from accredited blood donation services from Lagos State, which would be through the Lagos State Blood Transfusion. Well, one of the benefits that can accrue from donating blood is that it gives people an opportunity to be screened for certain diseases like HIV, hepatitis. It gives an opportunity to know what your blood type is, and in some opportunities to know what your genotype is, which some people don't know. And I would strongly encourage anyone listening that if they are fit, healthy, and meet the criteria to be able to donate blood, that they should please try and attempt to go somewhere to their nearest local hospital or healthcare center where they will be able to donate some blood.
In keeping with the theme for this year's commemoration of World Blood Donor Day, be there for someone else, give blood, share life. My name is Felicity Ezewike, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
And on the foreign scene, Clary Mendy, a lady who lost 2 of her family members in the Grenfell Tower, which occurred a year ago, organised a memorial today at St Helens Church in West London. A national silence for 72 seconds was observed countrywide to mark the departure of loved ones who were victims of the unfortunate event. The bereaved family members lit candles and wore green items of clothing in honour of their loved ones. The ceremony was graced by even the royals of England. The procession was led to the site of the Grenfell Towers with different signs and symbols showing love, unity and truth at the base of the tower. British Prime Minister Theresa May also shared her condolences on Twitter, expressing her consolation to the bereaved families. According to the site intelligence group, a video of a French aid worker and Colombian nun kidnapped in separate incidents has been released by an Al-Qaeda affiliate in Mali. The video was released on Wednesday by the militant group, which has also been responsible for the kidnap of not less than 6 Western hostages in recent times. The French aid worker Sophie Petronin was kidnapped in 2016 in the northeast of Mali, and the Colombian nun Gloria Cecilia Narvaez was taken in southern Mali, near the border with Burkina Faso in 2017. The video shows both women in a tent, with Petronin being taken care of by Narvaez. Both women were made to address the camera, stating the date as June the 7th, 2018. Petronin speaks in tears to her son, telling him she is exhausted, while Narvaez speaks to Pope Francis to intervene on the behalf of Petronin, who is sick. A peaceful protest was staged by Greek rebels on the Asian Acropolis in Athens for a convicted far-left terrorist serving several life terms for a series of murders. A banner was unfolded in front of the 5th century BC Parthenon temple by the members of the Rubicon today, charging the government of attempting to assassinate Dimitris Koufoudinas, a member of the November 17th group. There was, however, no damage and no arrests were made. Koufoudinas has been on hunger strike for a leave from prison, as his 3rd request for leave was not approved. He has, however, on 2 other occasions been granted the opportunity to leave the prison briefly. Koufoudinas, who assassinated 23 people, including Western diplomats, is serving 11 life terms. And in business, according to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General Abubakar Malami, Nigeria has agreed to deal with some foreign countries for the return of $500 million in public funds stolen by a former official. Malami said that while they are close to concluding the process, countries like the United States, the United Kingdom and France are helping to repatriate the funds. The minister clarified that under the agreement with the United States, the funds recovered will be committed to specific projects that have already been identified. Former Nigerian military ruler General Sani Abacha, who died in 1998, is alleged by the authorities to have embezzled over $3 billion from the country's foreign reserves, which was then transferred to foreign bank accounts. The money is still currently being traced and returned to Nigeria. Earlier this year, President Muhammadu Buhari signed a memorandum of understanding with the Switzerland government and a World Bank fund that will pave the way for the return of $321 million of stolen funds traced to the late General Abacha. Nigeria's double-digit inflation rate has been falling constantly for the past 16 months. In May, it fell to 11.61% from 12.48% in April, showing a 0.87% drop. Our correspondent Irene Ubani has details in this report.
In 2017, Nigeria got out of its worst recession after 25 years, thanks to higher oil prices. However, the Central Bank of Nigeria still anticipates a single-digit inflation rate target of at most 9%. Based on reports from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria still runs on a double-digit inflation rate, which the central bank has projected to worsen with the inflow of cash from excessive spending in the country. I spoke with Ephraim Ajijola, a business analyst. Hello, Ephraim. How does an excessive cash inflow affect the inflation rate in Nigeria?
Our economy is oil-based and oil is dollar-based. We sell crude in dollars, we buy refined oil in dollars. So which means that a lot of naira, which we have in the country, of course, chasing dollars. Inflation happens mainly when a lot of money is chasing few available goods. So every time CBN pumps dollar into the economy, it is to make dollar available so that you reduce inflation. Now that comes at the cost, of course. But then when you look at it, when you balance the cost against the inflation that would affect the economy generally, you think it is cheaper to pump in more dollars to regulate naira chasing dollar.
How does an increased interest rate affect inflation?
It affects it negatively. So inflation rate jacks up interest rates. Interest rates, on the other hand, slows down the economy because they have the economic or business activities going on. That's the effect.
Thank you very much, Ephraim. The target for a reduced inflation rate is to enhance the country's current slow growth rate. Reports from the National Bureau of Statistics yesterday, however, showed an improvement in Nigeria's inflation, which was at an 11.61% in May against the 12.48% in April. But it is expected to drop further. I am Irene Ubani, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Yesterday, the anti-smuggling unit of the Nigerian Customs Service confirmed that between May 16th and June 12th, it impounded 15 exotic cars, 15 containers of imported rice, and other items with duty-paid value estimated at over 1.345 billion naira. Garba Uba Muhammad, Customs Area Controller of the Federal Operations Unit, made this known while briefing journalists. He said that 59.5 million naira was also recovered from underpayment by importers who initially cleared their goods from the ports, bringing the total recovered in the period to 1.405 billion naira. Along with the exotic cars impounded were bags of foreign rice, cartons of frozen poultry products, jerry cans of vegetable oil, and other items. On Thursday, South Sudan's cabinet passed its 2018 to 2019 budget of 81.6 billion South Sudanese pounds, which is an increase of 75% from the previous budget. South Sudan's inflation was at 161.2% in March, with the hyperinflation persisting for several years, partly due to its depreciating currency. Analysts say this stems from more than 4 years of civil war that has destroyed South Sudan's economy. The nation depends on crude oil, but currently output is less than half of what it used to be prior to the war, which was 245,000 barrels per day. Michael McCreary, the Information Minister, told reporters that the proposed budget would be presented to Parliament for approval next week. However, he did not give details of how the nation plans to finance the budget. Tokumbo is up next with the entertainment news.
And in entertainment, Scales in a recent interview revealed that he's inspired by his story and that those who have helped him in putting Nigeria on a different level, such as Wizkid, Davido, amongst others. He also said international artists give him the exposure he requires and brought fun to music production. He further disclosed his love for music, saying music isn't all about making money. Scales, who was supposed to release his album on the 22nd of June, said the album will be held back for a week or two. According to reports, American rapper Jay-Z is being sued by an old business partner, Rainer Herbert. The agreement with both partners was based on royalties, but it seemed that the money stopped coming in 10 years ago, and Herbert now wants his money. In 1995, Robert Herbert claims he had a deal with Jay-Z on Rockefeller where he'd get 1% of the sales on the famed album. According to him, he says he reached out to Jay-Z to inquire about the missing royalty checks, but all efforts were in vain. Since then, Herbert is yet to receive any monies from the deal, and Jay-Z is yet to release a statement on the issue. Award-winning novelist Chimamanda Adichie has won the Pen Painter Award 2018, which is designed to honor outstanding literary writers who steadily show a fierce intellectual determination to define the real truth of our societies. Adichie said she admires Harold Pinter's talent, his courage, dedication to telling his truth, and she also went on to say she's honored to be given the award in his name. She'll be awarded the honor on the 9th of October 2018. That's it on entertainment. Up next is Udoka with the sports news.
Hello and welcome to Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoku. Well, the World Cup has kicked off and, of course, a whole lot of interesting things happening around the world. We just saw a game between Saudi Arabia and Russia. And, of course, for Saudi Arabia, they really did intend to defeat Russia on home ground. But, hey, that game ended 5-0. And we'll have players like Yuri Gazinski scoring a goal. Denis Cherisev scored a brace in that one. There was also a goal from Artem Zuba. And, of course, Alexander Golovin scored a wonderful free kick to make it 5-0 in favor of the home team, Russia, the hosts of the 2018 World Cup. I've got Femi, of course, I've got Femi Onosaya right here as an analyst. We'll be looking at the game and, of course, discussing on everything that went down on that game this afternoon. Well, Femi, welcome to the show.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have me.
Of course, we saw the game, Russia versus Saudi Arabia, 5-0. We all saw it coming, but I didn't expect to see 5 goals in that game.
Expectedly, I have it on my mind, and I expect Russia to actually have this one because no host team has lost his first game in the World Cup competition, and of course Russia expectedly to make the Russians happy, to keep them warm, to keep them welcoming, because a lot of people are coming all over the world. They have won their first game in an emphatical way. I think they are very happy in their country now.
Okay, well, still looking at that one, with what we've seen Russia do against Saudi Arabia, how far do you think that they can go in this competition?
Of course, the target is at least get out of the group stage, and they have started well. They've won Saudi Arabia. They have Egypt and Uruguay. Those are the tough tasks they have, and the tough teams I think they have in the group. But this time around, they've started well, and I think they can end well.
Okay, started well, and he thinks that they can end well. And we're looking forward to having the Super Eagles of Nigeria play on Saturday against Croatia. And, of course, for General, everyone is talking tough about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and we're expecting nothing but a positive result from the lads right there, with Captain John Obi Mikel promising that he will bring back the trophy. We're wishing the Super Eagles well in that one. Let's talk about Egypt versus Uruguay. That game comes up tomorrow. And I think the biggest news for the Egyptian national team and for Egypt as a whole is the fact that Mohamed Salah has been confirmed 100% fit to feature in that game against Uruguay. I mean, this man seems like the most important person, even more important than the president of Egypt.
Of course, because he's one name that has actually trained all over the world.
Sure.
A lot of ladies in Nigeria now know about Mo Salah. They wonder a lot. In fact, some people are actually naming their kids after Mo Salah. He has done fantastic job for himself, and the Egyptians really rely on him. I know they are very happy to have him back, and he will really give his best against Uruguay tomorrow.
But looking at his performance so far, what he has done with Liverpool in the English Premier League, what he has done with the former club that he has played for, Fiorentina and Roma.
Yes, Roma.
I mean, playing for Egypt right here at the World Cup, we know that it's been a long time, it's been years since Egypt qualified for the World Cup. With the inclusion of Mo Salah, is it a motivation enough to see Egypt get out of the group stage of the competition?
Wow, coming back to play the World Cup after 3 decades is a real big deal.
Yeah.
And to have their talisman, the best player on the continent back in their team is a real morale booster. I think back home, the support will be massive, and even the teammates will be there to support him. And of course, he will be there to give his best. And of course, Egypt should really go far in this.
Egypt should go far in this one. But then looking at Mo Salah, he wants to play in the World Cup and he wants to be among one of the greats, and of course having an opportunity to win the Ballon d'Or as well. And don't forget, Neymar as well features in that one, and he wants to win the Ballon d'Or. There are all rumors about him wanting to leave Paris Saint-Germain, probably head back to Barcelona or move over to Real Madrid. But then we're wishing Mo Salah well in that one. And for Nigeria, as we look forward to that big game against Croatia, I mean, what do you think about Argentina's defender, Javier Mascherano, who came out to say that the disorganization of the Super Eagles makes the team a difficult team to play against?
I think back home here, we have this mentality, this belief in our mind that when everything is going fine, we tend not to play well at the World Cup. But when we have it rough and tough, we tend to do more. I think if he's saying we are disorganized, the disorganization is to our own profit.
Wow.
The Super Eagles are really going to go far.
Well, thank you very much, Femi, and also for making it to the studio today to have analysis of everything happening around the world of sports. Well, my name is Udoka Christian Njoko. That's much you can take for a sports update on Plus TV Africa. For more sports news, do go to our website, plustvafrica.com. We'll be handing over to Lakbe Banjo. Do have a great evening.
Thanks, Udoka. That's the news at this hour. I'm Lakbe Banjo. Do have a great evening.